All right, so let's get into the real stuff. What's been going on in your world the last, I guess, 8 months?
8 months. I've either been preparing for work, doing work, or recovering from work while working on this crazy little monster that we call the Wild.
These are the parts that no one wants to talk about.
Remember, we've been building boxes for about 20 years, going all the way back to the Patagonia, all the way back to the Pangea, all the way back to what turned into the Epic. So building on all of that, it wasn't much of a stretch for us to say, all right, well, we want a very approachable, very capable off and on-road vehicle that's going to be a box style, and will also be able to tow, turn in a very tight radius, which is one of the cool features on this vehicle. So there's just a lot of reasons of how we got to designing an adventure truck, but then we selected Ram 3500, designed our own custom wheels, advanced suspension, and then this very lightweight, highly insulated capsule with some additional features will make it very fun to be outside and inside simultaneously.
Training. Going through the system, understanding how the controls work.
My name is Ron Rinke. I'm the engineering manager and the project manager for new development. I've been here for almost 2.5 years. The GXV WILD is a concept that some of us here at GXV thought could fit within the current Storyteller product line, but push it more towards the GXV style.
My name is Zach Thompson. I am the electrical engineer for Storyteller Overland, and I've been working here for about 5 years now. So my responsibility was to take the current GXV system and try to implement the innovations that Storyteller has already gone through the process with their system and get it implemented into a completely new power system and control system. So over the next 2 days, I'm currently just doing a final validation on the systems before it's taken out for real-world testing.
The Wild is pretty different. It's got a lot of USPs, unique selling features. Compared to some of the previous products we had, we've tried to do a more dynamic living area, so that allows for, more configurations and how the area can be set up, allowing for, different ways to use the space as the consumer. So the big one is on the rear of the vehicle. We've incorporated what we're calling kind of a deck or rear living space that allows for the tire carriers to swing out the way. We can lower the rear wall to make a deck area that's big enough for 2 individuals to sit down and enjoy the outside air, look at the scenery. And then additionally, it gives nice airflow for the rest of the cab. So if you're cooking and stuff, you feel more connected to the outside world.
We're kind of to the point now that we believe that, if I were to look over my shoulder, I think we're within actually 30 minutes of this truck being completed. Tomorrow morning, if not this afternoon, we will gas it up, take it to the weigh station, see how well we did on our weight targets, make any other preparations, and then we will leave Saturday morning and see how it does on anywhere from the long straights of southern Kansas to the Rocky Mountains, to the deserts of Utah, Arizona, and take it to places that we believe people would take it.
Pretty good. Excited to see this thing move for the first time.
the interior is looking awesome, but we do awesome interiors. So,
we're hoping for anything less than 13,000 pounds. That gives 1,000 pounds of cargo carrying capacity. I think we'll be right there knocking on the door.
The verdict.
we're over 300 pounds under budget. We freaking,
12,666.
freaking nailed it.
12,660. Yeah, that's outstanding. That's 300 pounds, a little less than what we were aiming for.
And then we set off across the country quickly and without issue, finding ourselves in the beautiful mountains of Colorado. No, I'm completely kidding. The beast mode that I was driving got a flat tire in the middle of Kansas. Oh no, our Invictus Advantage tire with our KO3 dual valve stem has sprung a leak. Luckily, this is the beast mode, so we have a full-size spare. I get the privilege of coming on a lot of these kind of prototype testing trips, and this was a really, really cool one. So once we got into Colorado, we spent the next couple days just testing this thing at elevation and in the cold. Every single night we camped at or above 10,000 feet, and it was below freezing, I think every night.
Did what I thought was a pretty good, little bit of test at speed over wash boards and a little bit of turning. I think it handled pretty well today. Did some ascents in some higher elevations. Seemed to have plenty of power. But yeah, truck's doing well. We'll check out the systems, take a shower, and it's taco night.
How do I make a fire?
Yep.
So this works 90% of the time, but you text Daniel Mojica and say, hey, you're only 4 hours away from me. Could you drive to this campsite and start a fire? 90% of the time, he does. Works every time. Now, Austin, what is the GXV Wild?
We really approached it as, a unique vehicle slotted between the vans and the GXV trucks to meet a unique set of user needs that we did not believe were being met by anything on the market or with our products. Well, why are the vans popular? So obviously we're very successful in the vans, and this vehicle was meant to, it's like a step between a van and a truck. So we almost viewed this as a hybrid of a van and a truck. Like, what makes a van good and what makes the truck good? Like, the truck platform is much more capable, but the van platform, what makes it unique is you can open the side door up and the back door so you can interact with nature. A core value of Storyteller is community. And so if you're inside, you're not interacting with the community around you. Really, the deck was born because we wanted the user of the Wild to be able to interact with their community. The community might be you and the person you're traveling with. So if I'm inside cooking, or I just want to sit inside for some reason, I'm working at the table, whatnot, somebody's outside sitting by the fire, if you don't have that rear deck, if that doesn't open up, you lose the community even between those two people.
Something that was really cool to see is that every single time we'd stop, whether it was at a campsite, whether it was just refueling everything or just getting snacks or stretching our legs, the GXV guys would pour over the Wild like ants. I mean, they were taking readings on everything, just getting data, checking the tire temperatures at every possible chance they could, writing down the mileage. And I mean, they were really gathering a ton of data throughout this trip. But this being a prototype vehicle and us pushing it really, really hard every single day for such a long time, things are bound to happen on the road. And one morning we were leaving our final campsite in Colorado. The intent that day was to get into Utah and do some testing in those parts of the country. As we were pulling into this really, really remote gas station, the bolts that held one of the brake calipers in place suddenly didn't. And that resulted in the convoy coming to a complete stop. So Ron just got on his radio and started just calling on every single channel, trying to see if there was a local mechanic or anyone with a shop who was in the area. And we ended up finding help. And so out of nowhere, these two just genuine mountain men, they roll up in their little, almost like a tuk-tuk, but they roll up in their little truck. They just take Ron and they go away, and they're gone for like an hour.
And that was the last time anyone ever saw Ron.
So we're gonna try to find a bolt, hopefully somewhere here, and put this thing back together and get on the road.
Tell me you found a bolt.
I wish I had one in my hand, but no bolt found.
And praise God, he ended up coming back with the exact bolts we needed, and we were able to just fix everything up and get back on our way.
How was your adventure?
It was good.
That's just the nature of these trips though, you know, like we do a really good job of beating things up to the point where we figure out every possible thing that can and will go wrong so that the end user doesn't have to.
Left and right, you should be pretty level there.
You know, we want to get this truck into consumers' hands in a timely fashion, and so a big part of doing that is making sure that the product that we produce meets what we say it's gonna do. I've been a big off-roader since high school. I built 2 Jeeps in my life, and so I'm excited to do something with a bigger vehicle, one that's kind of been, I wouldn't say just my baby, but been my project, and so I'm excited for it.
I mean, this vehicle is out of central casting for the corporate competencies of Global X and Storyteller. We've been building boxes for 20 years. We have been forming fiberglass components for years and years. It's all vertically integrated. We make everything. So none of this is out of our wheelhouse. We've been building on Ram trucks for years and years. Before there was a Hilt, there was a GXV adventure truck. Guess what it was on? Ram trucks. So we have a deep understanding of the chassis themselves. Everything here, I'm not saying it's easy because we've had enormous challenges and time pressures and, you know, everybody's hopes and dreams making this the greatest possible vehicle. Most of this is well within our wheelhouse, and this is what these guys do.
I get the privilege of working alongside some insanely talented people who build really, really cool vehicles here at Storyteller. And I get to play with a lot of cool stuff, but man, I think the Wild is something special.
I think the Wild is for anyone who has an adventurous spirit that is not afraid to take the road less traveled. And there's this kind of wave, a movement of people who want more out of these kinds of at the time called RVs, recreation vehicles. And Storyteller put a flag in the ground and said, we're actually going to create an adventure vehicle. This is about being able to explore all the nooks and crannies of this amazing country with your friends in tow. And then when you find that place that's uniquely yours, that no one else is there, you circle the wagons, have that campfire experience. And that's the thing that memories for a lifetime. We've been with GXV on every continent in this planet, and those are trail tested for 20 years. So what's super cool is that DNA is plugged into all of those rigs. And now when you kind of think about like choose your own adventure, do you want to plug into a micro camper or the most capable expedition rig on the planet? And now with the Wild and the Hilt, we have everything in between.